Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Health and Wellness. We're here at Greer's Health and Wellness Center. We're located at 3490 Lexington Avenue North. We're in Suite 230. We're in a professional office building. We're in Shoreview, a suburb of St. Paul. Our phone number is 651-486-0525. Our website is greershealth.com or greerswellness.com. This is the second of a series of 5 programming, and we're actually going around the center. In last week's program, we talked about the Miracle 2 products, and we talked about how we use the Miracle 2 products in detoxifying internal, external, in helping rid of psoriasis, eczema, in treating fungal nail, jock itch, any skin disorders, and also addressing acne, and just getting rid of acid reflux and helping the body to detoxify and bringing it more to a pH. And so in tonight's program, we're going to talk about the products behind me. And we're going to start by talking about the hemp parts. And the hemp parts look like this. Now, we have a lot of clients that have actually chosen to become vegetarians or vegans. And a lot of times people take this and start to change their diets, but they don't really understand how important it is to sort of know exactly on the proteins as to how to complete a protein. And there are products out in as far as proteins that are incomplete, or I should say that the proteins that are available, they probably are doing only protein drinks, and they're vegans or they're vegetarians, and all their consumption of protein is whey, let's say, or maybe soy products, or maybe just eggs, or maybe just beans. Or those proteins are great, but they're not in all they're not complete. There's the whole idea with diet is that you have to present a lot of different proteins. And becoming a vegetarian or a vegan, you lack that. And so a lot of times, folks that actually have decided to do soy, they actually end up sick, congested, always, a cold is always present, they're always clearing their throat. And it's all due to a lot of times intolerances to a certain food, and maybe that food is not being digested properly. And so soy not being the best of proteins, whey is, anyone that is dairy intolerant will have the same issues, not really doing very well. And so it's almost like taking in something that your body doesn't really have an enzyme to break it down. So the idea is, in taking hemp parts, which is what we're talking about today, it's a complete protein. And so for anyone that is a vegetarian or a vegan, they can actually incorporate by taking the hemp parts and know that they are getting the full complete protein. And hemp parts seeds are actually, if you compare them with other foods, they contain more required amino acids, proteins, than milk, meat, or eggs. It is a complete protein source, much more balanced and digestible than any soy product. It contains 47% oil, 86% of which is omega-3, 6, and 9. It contains all the essential and omega fats required for human health. It contains several times more omega-3 essential fat than any fish. It provides more energy than energy bars, without their sugar and with less saturated fats. It's suitable for those unable to eat gluten, sugar, milk, nuts, and meat. It's perfect for those trouble with constipation and for those avoiding carbohydrates. It also has, it is said that you can start by doing a tablespoon in the morning. It is said that it contains a 55 gram, which is a serving of 5 tablespoons. It's 314 calories. But it has the proteins, it has the unsaturated fats, it has the omega-6, 3 and 9. It also has 5.9 grams of carbohydrates in the 5 tablespoons. It has the right 2.6 milligrams of iron. It has 3.3 grams of fiber. And it has vitamin E, vitamin C. It has B6, it has B12 that you only get in meat. And it also has all the B vitamins, and it has vitamin D3 and vitamin A, potassium, and phosphorus. Actually, if you compare what the hemp hearts will do for you, by taking it in the morning, by taking it in the afternoon, what it does, it actually helps to crave the cravings of sugars and carbs. Chances are that once you do that, you can you won't get hungry, and you'll be able to go longer, and your blood sugar won't drop, and it'll start balancing so that you know, a lot of times when your blood sugar drops considerably, what happens is you can't see, you can't speak correctly. And if you are either in school or if you're at work or at a meeting and you don't have access to, it's better, instead of doing the energy bars, you can have the little hemp heart seeds and have them in a little in your purse, and you can consume them, and they're very satisfying, but they really balance. And you know, the importance of protein is that that is what actually stabilizes our blood sugar, and it helps us and carries us through the day. But in the morning hours is very important, because from the time you get up till about 10 o'clock, your blood sugar varies. And if you are a diabetic, you know that. But if you're hypoglycemic, a lot of times you will go about not knowing exactly what's going on, but you're always eating something because you haven't reached that level of really you know, eating correctly and balanced. Protein is the only food group that will actually carry you through and balance your blood sugar and make it more stable. Any carbohydrate and any fruit won't do that. In fact, fruit is probably not the right food to have if you have, let's say, blood sugar issues, or if you have issues with candida. So a lot of the folks that are don't do fruit because of that, or they have a green drink, or they have like a protein drink, that's the way to do it. Hemp hearts are very good for folks that have for diabetics, for folks that are very ill, folks that have issues with digestion, with candida, with hypoglycemia, with chronic fatigue, folks with inflammatory conditions like arthritis, pain issues. The hemp hearts really do many things for you. And it comes in a container, and it's best to have it early morning. They usually say that if you take it first thing in the morning in salad, by having romaine lettuce and spinach and radishes and cucumbers and that sort of thing, by putting it on top, and that's the best way to have it, because it gives you all the protein, all the fats, all the omega fats for the brain to work. It's good to put it in a protein drink, let's say, or you can put it in yogurt. Some people have a little fruit and yogurt in the morning. You can also put it in oatmeal, can put it in cold cereal. So there's many ways of doing that. It will give you, it's a better choice than doing soy, and soy, as most of us know, is not a good source of protein. It actually is not as good as everybody, as the market or as the people say in the on television. But anyway, this is what the hemp hearts look like, and now we're going to talk a little bit about digestive health. Digestive health, for most of us, we've seen the program on digestive health, and digestive health has it has all the culture bacteria, it has probiotics, it has your enzymes, it has all your it has the protein from rice, and the principle with that is for anyone that has digestive issues, that takes a lot of medication, that's diabetic, that has fungal issues, candida, that has acne, that has leg issues, edema, fungal nail. The digestive health targets at all that, because when you have issues digestively, when you eat, it just doesn't seem that you break down your food. It's because you don't have the right culture bacteria, and so if you eat a combination of different foods, or if you eat a food that you don't have enzymes to break it down, everything sort of sits and settles and it doesn't move. And in presenting the digestive health, what it does is that you're actually putting the right culture bacteria, the right probiotics, and the first thing that you have, that you sense, is that you have this sense of wellness, of calmness. And a lot of the children that have ADD have those issues where they have this tightness, this unsteadiness in the middle of their stomach, and it's all due to the fact that they are toxic, number one, they have candida, number two, and their lack of minerals and culture bacteria and probiotics. So the idea is that when kids take digestive health, they know it, they never want to go without it, because they have a sense of very calm and settle in the middle of their stomach. It's like they can go through the rest of the day feeling okay. For folks that are diabetic and that are taking insulin, also for folks that are on medication, heart, and just a lot of medications that they're taking 6 or maybe 7 different pills, then chances are that you're minusing the minerals that you're taking in from the foods that you're eating on a day-to-day basis. So culture bacteria are very needed. Also the probiotics are needed. And the protein, that whole mixture of the minerals and all the probiotics and the culture bacteria are the good soldiers that are going to do war with the culture bacteria that you're housing. You know, our bodies, our diet is an 80-20. And so our diet lends itself to that, which is supposed to be 80-20, 80 good, 20%, 80% raw and 20% cook. We are 80% good, 20% bad. That is the way it's supposed to be. However, we're actually presently, if we're ill, if we have any condition, then what we're doing is we're housing 80% bad and we're only working with 20% good. In presenting the digestive health, what we do is we actually put the good culture bacteria, start to do and clean house, so that presently what we're doing is we're multiplying those cultures, and you're steadily every day by doing it, you're actually cleaning away the bad and incorporating the good, but also creating more, multiplying that very cultures, so that at the end, every day we are eliminating some of the bad and we're housing more of the good. Candida can be assist in eliminating it. There's a lot of cleansers, and I'm not going to say that you shouldn't do that. However, it is when you present more of the good probiotics, the good culture bacteria, the good enzymes, and the good proteins. The whole idea is that the more foods that you present that you're able to break down and utilize, as nutrients, then chances are you will thrive. You'll end up doing better. You'll do better, and you'll start eliminating a lot of the things that are present right now, and you'll eliminate, and then you'll start to feel better. The whole idea is, one of the things that you will find when you take this is it doesn't work like a laxative. What it does do is it actually works the minute you take it. Within 15 minutes, you have a sense of cleanse. You end up going to the restroom and you eliminate. But you don't eliminate like a rush, like when you take a laxative. It's different. It's the way it should be, that when you eat the right foods, you end up going, and the whole idea is the more and more you do that, the more you end up presenting the good. You become regular. There's a lot of folks that when they come in, they say, oh, I haven't gone for 5 days. Some people don't go for 10 days. And they eat very little because they're not going. And they eat less because they say, well, I didn't go, so I can't eat too much. Or hormonally, all that has to do with foods that you're storing, foods that you're not processing. And by taking the digestive, activity starts to happen. It's almost kind of like a cleansing effect every single day. And you should go 3 times a day, not just once. You eat 3 times, you should go 3 times. And you should eat accordingly to morning, afternoon, and dinner. And it doesn't matter quantity-wise. If you're on a diet and you want to lose weight and you want to eat less, that's okay. But still present something 3 times a day. And preferably let it be more protein than maybe, let's say, starch. Fiber is good from veggies, and that is you get from all raw foods. And then protein, a little fiber, a little fruit is good. But in losing weight, you're going to find out that sugar tends to feed candida, and if you're trying to help that also, you're going to find that by presenting digestive health, all those things, you won't crave them because you're actually assisting in giving the body what it needs presently. Digestive health comes in this container, and you end up taking, depending on what it is that you start with or how sensitive you are, we'll suggest as to how it is that you, or what portions you should take. That is digestive health. Digestive works in helping with acne, with any skin disorder, psoriasis, eczema. It's surprisingly what you take in, how it affects your skin. It's amazing. The protein from rice, it's very agreeable to everyone. There is no gluten in this product. It's all culture bacteria, enzymes, probiotics. And in cleansing, it is that most people come in and they say, those that have been on this will never be without it. And someone said, well, am I going to be on this for the rest of my life? Well, you know, we eat all different things, and we eat veggies every day. We eat meat or fish or dairy, no different. It's just something that until we get well enough, and until we start conditioning to eating the right probiotics in even the food groups, and that I will discuss later, you know, but you sort of do this until you get to that point. Digestive health, it is said it's good for IBS, constipation, diarrhea, diverticulitis, Crohn's, flu-like symptoms, acid reflux, milk intolerances, prescription side effects, blood pressure, blood sugar imbalances, gas, intestinal bloating, and sudden weight gain. That's what this product will help with. And but I will say that kids with ADD, ADHD, any, like it said, celiac, the celiac folks do wonderful with that. In fact, I have a mom that the daughter had celiac real bad, and she ended up sending this to her to college, and the daughter did wonderful. And you know, the whole idea is that when your system isn't working very good, it affects your whole thinking, and you end up with headaches and vision problems and infections. This is also good for infections, kidney infection, and um, vaginal infections, and any of those things. In fact, it's really good for any infections, because most of those things, if not all of them, are all due to the fact that candida is present. And allergies and colds and flus and all that is all due from that very issue, candida just settling right here on your nose and throat. Ear infections are the same thing, and that's your digestive health. Now I'm going to talk about enzymes. The same way that we talk about, same thing that we talked about digestive health, digestive enzymes are as important as the powder. Now the difference is, most people would say, if I'm taking one, do I need the other? And the idea is, yes. In fact, most of the time what we do is these two things are sold together. And they're sold together only because the enzymes are, if a person has issues digestively, then chances are 9 out of 10 times they're not digesting whatever foods they're presently eating. And that means I've heard folks say, you know, I ate a salad, I went to the bathroom and I could see the lettuce, or I can see the corn. And corn is, that happens to everyone. But I would say that a lot of times people will say that, and by taking one enzyme in the morning, it will help you in moving things along faster. And if you take it at noon, if you do salads or proteins, it'll help things move along faster. And if you take it at dinner, which is very important because that's your heaviest meal, and it's important because that's the time of the day that your system is the most slowest. And usually that's the time of day that you're more comfortable, you're at home, and you tend to eat more because you're not in a hurry and because you're in a comfortable setting. So the idea is, and it's also important to take it at night, because whatever wasn't processed and broken down during the day, at nighttime your system will keep going and working. It is said that enzymes are the life force. It's the missing link. And the truth is that when you don't have enough enzymes, your food just sits, stagnation starts to settle in, and blockages will happen. And so the idea is, most people say that when they take the enzyme, they can understand, they do understand as to how they feel when they take it. They feel how much better, the stomach goes down right after they eat, and things get moving on pretty quick, and they're eliminating. So the idea is, enzymes, this will break down your proteins, your fats, your sugars, your carbohydrates, and your sugars. So the idea, by taking this, all different food groups will be broken down and delivered to cell. So these two things are really important, and they do work synergistically together. Now I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk a little bit of the flax. And I have the flax up there. The flax comes in a little jar, and the flax lignans, they come in a little jar, and what it is, the flax lignans is a plant, and I know a lot of people have actually seen, for every time I've spoken about the flax lignans, they oftentimes, you know, will go to the local store and get the flax. But the flax that they get at the store is the shiny seed, and that's not the one I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about, it's already grinded for you. It's not one that you take the seeds and you put them in the blender and the coffee grinder and you grind it. And you take it, and if you don't take it fast enough, it'll get really thick. The flax that I'm talking about will do that too. However, it's already grinded for you, and all you do, you take a small portion of it. And the lignans are omega fats that actually are plant derived and will help with elimination, constipation. It will help in cholesterol, in lowering the cholesterol, triglycerides. It will help anyone that has diabetes, hypoglycemic, that has celiac, that has sugar imbalances. It will help anyone with cancer, with prostate or breast cancer. It's a hormone balancer. It actually balances the hormones. In fact, the lignans will be broken down, which is an omega fat, that it's broken down, so whatever the body needs per time, so that if you need progesterone, let's say, the body will make that. If you need testosterone, it'll make that for men. If you need estrogen, it'll make that. And if you need, extra progesterone, it'll do that. And that is one of the ways that, for anyone that has those conditions, that is one of the products that we have them take. A lot of times people say, if they have celiac, they say, can have flax and lignans. And the truth of the matter is that any digestive, intestinal problem, the lignans really work great. And the lignans helps in for the kids. It's good protein. It's good source of fiber. And I have seen people where their numbers were really high in cholesterol. I had a lady that said, I'm going to see the doctor, and I know it was high the last time. I didn't want to go on the medication. And anyway, I decided to do something, and so what do you think? Can I do this in 20 days before I go back? And I said yes. In 20 days, she went back, had the test, and it had come down, so she didn't have to do the medication. So I venture to say that anyone that has issues with any of that, and this is also good for heart, it's good brain food, it just balances, it's good for skin, it's good for hair. In fact, your skin will plump because all the omega fats omega fats are good for us. I think a lot of folks have actually shied away, that are on diets, shy away from fats. If it says fat, they don't want it. But the truth of the matter is that your body does need the good omega fats. And you get that from fish, you get that from plant, which is the flax lignans, you get it from hemp parts, and you get it from all your good, the flax are excellent. And cod liver is another one as far as omega fats. So lignans is a complete food. It's something that people use. You can use it on top of in your cereal. You can put it in your hot or cold. You can put it in your protein drink, and that's all added. However, if you have the digestive health, guess what? You don't have to go and buy extra lignans because the lignans are already there. So that's a way of knowing that there's things that you don't have to duplicate because they're in certain things already that we have actually made up. So the lignans are very good, and just to iterate that that flax hull lignans it's very good as a protein as well, and good fiber. So the more fiber and the more proteins of different foods and omega fats that you do, the better you'll do on your diet. I'm going to talk a little bit about, to keep this all in order, I'm going to talk about protein. We have a pure protein, and pure protein looks like this. And the idea with the pure protein, we have so many people that are on diets, and they want to incorporate more protein because they know the importance of it. But just so you know, as the good as opposed to the bad, check anything that you buy and check for soy. There's a lot of products out in the market that are using soy base instead of as a source of protein. Clearly what happens is the soy protein will actually weaken your thyroid. It weakens the metabolism. It actually, you become congested. It creates a lot of mucus. We don't digest it good. A lot of kids that have a lot of issues uh, are taking soy from tofu or from miso or from soy nuts, and all those things are just not good. The pure protein, we have brought the pure lean protein in because it has a combination of 4 different proteins, but they're all really good for us, but we process them good. It is a combination of pea protein, um, chia, hemp hearts, and rice protein. So it has the good proteins in it that actually are digestible, that are easy on our stomach. It's not chalky, it's not heavy. It blends in good with water, or if you have milk, let it be that you do maybe a rice milk or have coconut milk or almond milk, but stay away from that soy milk because again, that's not as good. It might taste wonderful and you might think it's great and you might feel good upon drinking it, but the minute you drink it and the more you crave it. I had a gentleman, I'm going to give a little story. I had a gentleman that came in, had sandals, and it was winter. It was, I think it was like February. And he came in with sandals because he said he couldn't wear shoes. And his feet were very crusted white, and his feet were really retaining a lot of water. He was pale, and not to say that it was because of winter, because you can tell when people are, their blood is not, the circulation is poor. But anyway, in talking with him, the further we got into the conversation of diet and all that, he started telling him about different things. And one of the things I asked him, you know, what is it that you do for protein? And one of the things he said was, oh, I drink protein soy milk. And he says, I have 3 containers that I end up taking, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one at dinner. I just drink it down. I love it. And so I just stood there and I right away knew what it was that was making all this happen. He was overweight and for most parts totally unhealthy. He had other issues, and but all in all, he said, I hope you're not telling me that can't have the soy milk. And I said, well, at least lessen it, do less of it, and eventually eliminate it, because I think that's really what's causing your troubles. However, I will tell you that 6 months later he came back, and not only had he lost weight, he had shoes on, and he looked really great. His skin looked great. He had color to him. His hair was healthy, and then it was dry, and he looked like a totally different person. So when I tell you how much weight you can lose by eliminating the very culprit of what is causing you to be bad, that is one of the things. Pure lean protein is a good source of protein. It's something that you can incorporate with the digestive health. So you would have a scoop of this, you would have a scoop of the pure lean, and you can then put fruit. You can also put the hemp parts in there if you'd like extra. By doing that and maybe putting whatever else you would like, you can actually make a real good protein drink that will actually last you until maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but totally be balanced and satisfied and not craving anything. And also for anyone that that buys or takes in energy bars, you can actually use the hemp hearts to do that because it'll last long, it's satisfying, and it's no sugar, no fats, and it's actually better for you. Sustainable um, food. That is the Pure Lean, and people have actually done that in substitute to anything else that they have done. I know that when people come in and they check what they're taking, they realize how much soy product they are taking. And I will say that if you're trying to lose weight and you went from starting point and you lost 50 pounds, but you're still on the very protein, soy protein, I will tell you that it will be harder and harder for you to lose it, only because you have actually weakened your system by the soy that's in that product. If you like further information on the soy, Google it on, and you will see all the damage effect that the soy is doing to you. I'd like to talk a little bit about, let's see, lean. I want to talk about the clay. The clay is actually, it comes in a container. It's right here. Um, the clay is the desert clay. We did a program and talked about it extensively. And clay is one of the things that we use to detoxify. And it is said it helps in assisting in removing mercury, radiation, heavy metals, and excess metals such as aluminum, lead, arsenic. It actually assists in removing chemicals like pesticides and herbicides and other pathogens and toxin substance. It actually builds bone density, used by NASA for reversing the effects of osteoporosis. Periodontal issues, dental pockets, excellent solution, as clay binds to and removes bacteria in gum line. It actually, for gangling cysts, it actually dissolves the cysts. Loose bowels due to medication. If you have loose bowels, what happens is the medication actually does that because it's actually putting bad bacteria or bad substances of medication that's actually robbing you the minerals, and so the reaction is that it gives you diarrhea. It often corrects the situation for most people and pets. It's for excess stomach acid, excellent for neutralizing acid, creating more alkalinity in the stomach. It's excellent in removing unfriendly bacteria inside and outside the body. It's actually great for candida. It actually, one of the things that that clay does, it actually goes in not only on the surface but also inside the cell wall and also in the organs. It actually goes in the organs and it starts to clean, and also on the bones. It buffers the bones from excessive mucus and biofilm and acid. It's also great for skin cancer, spots. It goes to it actually softens them and eliminates them. It can be applied as a facial mask. It actually helps in constipation. And also for people that have issues with taking a lot of medication, by taking clay, one of the things that most people say is that if they can't eliminate or go often enough, what you can do is you can increase the magnesium amount of what you're doing per day. For bone strength, what it does is, if you've ever seen a natural rock where it's aged, where it has holes and it's damaged, decayed because of the conditions, that is the way our bones look. And by taking the clay, what it does, it actually picks up, it almost works like a magnet. It picks up all the particles that are causing the bones to dry out and age and the damage effect. It draws it like a magnet, and it buffers the bones. So now the calcium can be absorbed to the bones and strengthening the bones. It is said that silica is found in abundantly in red clay. 55.3% is necessary for the absorption of calcium into the bone tissue. It says calcium atom under certain pH factors can be overloaded with phosphorus, which may prevent it from entering the bones. Silica, commonly lacking in diets, it's recognized to alter the configuration of the molecules, thus enabling calcium to enter into the bone mass. This is the most useful for recalcification of the bone structure. It is actually good for candida. It actually rids of all the abnormal bacteria that's in the gastral tract. When exposed to the clay, they cannot survive. Such microorganisms are completely immobilized with the red clay. So again, in eating it, it is very, very valuable, not only for the nutritional support, but for the mucosal management, so that the unfriendly bacteria cannot thrive in its presence. Now, for medication, it is said that when you take medication, it's like our vitamins. And we're going to talk about the vitamins in our future programming as we go along. And it is said that the clay should be taken maybe first thing in the morning as you get up, and then if you take medication, let it be like an hour after so that it doesn't interfere. For anyone that's going through radiation or what's the chemicals for cancer, for chemo. Okay. For chemo and radiation, it is said that we need not take clay until 6 months later. We don't want to take red clay, present it right away, because then it'll start to dissolve it or eliminate it. So you want to be able to allow that to take its course. 6 months later to 8 months, you want to remove all those chemicals, because future is that those chemicals will actually cause more issues later on. So the idea is that clay is a good thing to present on a later date. And also, clay is also good for removing candida, fungal issues, and if you have any skin disorders, the red clay is amazing. But you can see it. When you start taking clay, I had a gentleman that had rosacea, and he started taking clay, and it was gone. It's like, it is amazing. For people that have ganglion cysts, polyps, that have hemorrhoids, that have fungal nail, that have athlete's foot, it actually takes care of all that because it starts to alkalize the body better. So for anybody that is sensitive, the portions of it are taken less. However, clay, it has a pH of 8.3. The molecules are very small, so it actually penetrates the blood. It cleans the blood, it cleans the cells, it cleans the organs, it cleans the bones, the teeth, and the clay is amazing. These are all products that we bring to you because of the importance of it. These are products that will help you to reach the health that you are striving for, that you're working towards. Food alone at this particular moment will not do it. And sometimes people often say, I do all the right things, I don't get it, I'm not feeling any better. And it's 6 months to a year and I'm still not any better than I started. These are the reasons. Because you can't, when you have the system that is very acidic, and the biofilm is too high. The acid, the mucus amount is so high. You need to cleanse, because whatever you're consuming, you're only getting like a 5 to 10% as opposed to 100%. And because none of the other things are present, none of the things are being processed fast or correctly and delivering it to cell. So that is the reason. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about MSM. Now, wait, I'm going to talk about calcium. I'm going to talk about calcium because we just did the the clay, and so the coral is one of the things that really, because it's a powder form as opposed to tablet, it actually, if you were to take our calcium and you would put it, the little scoop that's in there, and portion wise that it's 1,000 milligrams, and you would put it in water and stir it, it would turn that water to milk. And it's all because it's fossilized, and because it's readily available without any particles, without having for your body to break it down to deliver it. It actually dissolves in water and you drink it. Not only do you change pH in your mouth, but you also change pH as it goes down, all the way down to your stomach. And so the idea is that when taking the clay buffers the bones and teeth, and the calcium is better absorbed, better delivered to bones and teeth, so that the message or the delivery system is that you get faster results. Your readings on the bone density will change, and you'll feel better, you'll feel stronger. And so and there's a lot of other things that the doctors are the Fosamax, you don't have to do that, because now you're doing the calcium. Calcium can be taken directly in mouth. It turns, it gets kind of pasty, and all you do, you just let it dissolve a little bit, work it around the mouth, and it'll stick to your teeth. And it kind of helps the enamel, and it strengthens the enamel. And so if you do it at night, last thing at night, it will help your teeth. It will help in alkalizing your mouth, and so the acidity is not so high. And but it'll help you to sleep. It'll help you with pain. It is said that that calcium is good for anyone that has arthritis, anyone that has joint pain, anyone that has issues with, you know, that, because we do need calcium, and calcium is good for skin, it's good for nails, it's good for your teeth, and so, and it's very absorbable as well. So can take it 3 times a day. Take it in the morning. You take it in the morning, and you can put it in your protein, or you can put it in mouth, and just leave the house with that on there, and your teeth will be brighter, will be whiter. And if you take it at noon and a little bit of water, it'll alkalize your stomach. It's almost like drinking milk. And if you take it in the evening or at bedtime, it'll help you then in sleeping, so that you have less pain. And the more you create an alkaline in your body, the more you get rid of excessive water in the morning. That's the calcium. Calcium is amazing. Now I'm going to talk about the MSM and the vitamin C. The MSM is quite amazing. It's a miracle MSM. The MSM, it's actually for anyone that has arthritis, RA, neck pain, back pain, surgery pain, leg pain, bedridden pain, where you lay on one side too much and you have to be moved because you get so sore. If you're in a wheelchair and you have pain from that, chronic pain, if you have nails that are brittle, that peel, that split, if you have lack of energy, if your hair breaks, if you're losing your hair, if you have acne, pot marks, if you have your face has all these different demarcations and it's like big holes in your face and stuff, kind of embarrassed about it, guess what? The MSM works on all these different conditions. Um, it is said that there's almost like 50 different conditions. If you have fungal nail, if you have brown spots, if you have burn marks, if you have for psoriasis, for eczema, it is said that dogs, when it rains, they go out and they graze on the grass leaves as soon as the rain falls. They don't lick the grass if it hasn't rained, but as soon as it rains, they know where to go because it makes them feel better. We get MSM from fruits that are picked right from the tree. As it goes from truck to market, by the time we get it in our stores, guess what? The MSM that's in our food is not as great, it's not as much. So we tend to eat more of it in order to compensate for what it is or the amounts that we need. It is said that if you end up working out and you're tired, if and when the duration of exercise that you're doing, bike or running, or just any cardiovascular exercise, if you tire easy, your muscles give. By taking MSM, it'll give you the energy to go the extra mile. You will sleep good. You will get your hair back. Some women have lost their eyelashes, their eyebrows. Guess what? By taking MSM, all that comes back. And it is said that it's amazing. It's the most simple sulfur food, mineral base. It's not in our vitamins. And if it is, you get so very little, it's not sufficient. So the idea is that when you start taking the MSM, you will understand what it does. It actually gets rid of parasites. It actually makes you regular. It actually, it is amazing, all the different things that it does. If you burn yourself and you start taking MSM, your skin will heal so quickly without any scar tissue. If you have acne and you want your skin to resurface and be good again, MSM. If you have issues with hair, MSM. If you have any pain, be it whatever, it takes care of it. And the principle is that MSM by itself, this is a powder MSM, nothing greater, mixes fast. If you have allergies, if you have hay fever, if you have skin, any cough, you end up taking MSM, portions of that. You also need vitamin C powder. These two things are powder based. They're taken together, and the idea is, importantly so, it'll assist in working in assisting all that. The minute you start taking it, you'll start to feel so much better. You will sleep. You will be tireless. It's like you'll be able to work out, do your garden. You will be able to clean house, have all the extra energy. It gets rid of parasites. It gets rid of candida. It is the sulfur that heals. And it is like the miracle MSM. It is the missing link. These are things that we're bringing to you to help you understand the very simple things that in incorporating them in your everyday diet, it helps you in reaching health. Those are the MSM and the vitamin C. I do have the energy greens. Quickly, the energy greens are the energy greens are up there in a canister. And those have all the different food groups. It has your greens, your veggies, your fruits, your omega fats, your flax. It has your flowers, it has herbs, minerals, it has everything. So in times when you want to do that in the morning to clean excessive acid, can do that. We will be talking more in our next program. I wanted to also say that our the clay also comes in tablet form, so for those that want to do the clay instead of the powder, they can do that as well. And we are going to have these videos that are a series of 5 in combination. Once we get them all put together, you will be able to purchase them in one packet, so that you will be able to see exactly what every product in the center will do for you, so that you can stay tuned in to all the different things that you can do with the products that we're talking about or that we have here in the center. For anyone that wants further information, you can call us at 651-486-0525, or you can log in at greershealth.com and like us on Facebook. In fact, on our site we have the F icon on the, let's see, on the left hand side. If you click onto that, we post weekly all different things, information, so that you can learn more and get more educated so that you can reach better health. Thank you.